since it is an energy forum, I'm going to try to bring the energy up a little bit. So I'm in the spirit of One Caribbean. I'm going to start out by saying bonjour, buenos dias, kuda moran, good morning. And for those, since we are in Guyana, I'm going to teach you how to say good morning in Guyana. So turn to your neighbor and with me say morning. Great. Honorable Secretary General, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols already observed, let me officially welcome you to this first Green Investment Forum at STC 13. We at Heartbeat are very proud of our collaboration with the Caribbean Tourism Organization to present this forum in association with our media partners, One Caribbean Television, who are here somewhere, Cara PR Wire, the PR Newswire, in News Americas Now. Of course, for those who haven't met me yet, I'm Felicia Prasad, and I'm the convener and moderator this morning of our series, Invest Caribbean Now. It's something that we will continue in New York, and this June, on June 6th, as part of Caribbean Week when the CTO goes to New York. So we're hoping that some of you may be able to join us there and also help us honor Sir Richard Branson, who is going to be joining us for that investment forum there. Today, for me, it really is very interesting doing this forum, the first Green Forum, in Guyana, the land of my birth, even though I haven't been back in many years. But it is interesting because it's one of those countries where it is obviously a green haven, a paradise where, you know, you see the virginal forests, the astonishing rivers, the abundance of natural resources, and many of you, of course, witnessed this firsthand yesterday during those tours. This morning, we have a very knowledgeable panel that is focused on the economic prospects of green energy and renewables and what it can mean for Guyana and for the region as a whole. So we're not just saving the environment, but we're also boosting our economies. Let me just say the term green energy has been bandied about a lot. When I was a younger girl growing up in a little village called Paradise, it's on the east coast of Demerara, and you can go ahead and make any heavenly parallels. I wouldn't blame you at all. I didn't realize that my brother and I were sort of green energy entrepreneurs because at the time, we would tap the heat from the sun in the water that we used to bathe, because if many of the folks from Guyana would remember at that time, water also was one of those scarce commodities among many other things. So my parents would have the water pretty much brought in oil drums that were recycled. So we were doing this sustainable thing way back. And we basically would use the water and take it from the drums because that is really icy cold to bathe, and we would warm it up in the sun. And really, little did we know that at that point we were really promoting and starting just a little amateur version of what we now know today as solar energy that is now the focus of heating homes and generating power, just as wind is, the wind that used to rustle through our many trees there at Paradise. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the definition of green energy is simple. It is renewable energy which comes from natural resources such as sunlight, wind, biomass, geothermal, or tidal alternative choices. Of course, Guyana and the Caribbean are filled with an abundance of sunshine, wind, water, and other natural resources. And let us be very clear that investing in clean energy is not just environmentally responsible, but good business, because no region offers more long-term prospects in growth for renewable energy than the Caribbean. And let me just give you a bit of figures around this. The UN Environmental Program showed that last year alone, that's 2011, investors pumped a record $211 billion US, that's 11 with a B, into renewables globally, a 540% rise since 2004. And this number is projected to grow by 1.7 trillion by 2020. Of the 211 billion, 72 billion of that was invested in developing countries. South and Central America secured 13.1 billion of that amount. The Caribbean, not accounted for. And so it is a challenge to the Caribbean leadership in the region to basically position itself to take advantage of this new sector sustainably and with transparency. I think our leaders must begin to think outside the box and be unafraid to move beyond the traditional sectors, for instance, out of a dying sugar industry into a more lucrative opportunity like ethanol, or into more non-traditional forms of tourism. I think it's important that we tap investment in this sector to create not just new jobs, but limit our dependence on the up and down prices of oil and grow our economies like our neighbors in Latin America and really make a mark on this generation. And so I hand you over to our panelists this morning who are very equipped to tell us just how we can achieve that. Our first speaker is Mr. Tony Fiddy. He's president of the Waste to Energy Division and regional vice president, Europe and Africa of Naanovo Energy Company. Tony. Then there is Loretta Duffy Mayers. She's project manager of this project that the CTO has teamed up with the Caribbean Hotel Association to present, that is called the Caribbean Hotel Energy Efficiency Program. And helping her on this project is Dr. Ujwal Bhattacharjee. He's consultant also on this project. So each of our speakers will speak for a few minutes. Then once the presentations are over, we'll open it up for questions. So without further ado, let me hand you over to our first speaker, Mr. Tony Fiddy.
Good morning, everybody. Honored guests, honorable ministers, friends, can I thank your organization for giving us the opportunity to talk about waste to energy. It's something that I'm passionate about, and Felicia talked about energy. And let's try and keep energy in the room. Let's try and talk about energy, and what are we doing with energy. Excuse me, how do we move this on? We'll get there in a second. Oh, that's me. Sorry about this, everybody. But whilst we're waiting for this, and it does appear, as Felicia said, I'm the Vice President of Naanovo Energy. We are an alternative energy company. We are developers. And I've done the well. We talk about waste to energy. What is energy and what is waste? Energy is what we all rely on and which we take for granted in this country, in this world.
You've got it on the timer, haven't you?
No, I haven't got anything.
No, I meant the actual presentation.
Yeah, well, I want it on the timer. Anyway, sorry. So where are we with energy? We are losing energy daily. Fossil fuels are drying up. The climate change, we're losing hydro. So what Naanovo has done and what we've done within our organisation, we have developed technology where we take what you put in your dustbin and we turn it into energy. People in the past have looked at energy, waste, and saw the energy and saw it as energy, but as a problem that they're going to take it, put into the landfill, and they create methane for energy. Now, we'll ask you a question. What do you want in your environment? Do you want methane? Or do you want CO2? In my book, I want CO2. So what we do, we take the waste from the truck, we put it into our incinerator plant, we create low pressure and high pressure steam, and we make 7 megawatts of power from 180 tons of waste. Now, the developing world has 3 major problems. Its problems are waste, water, and power. So from 180 tons of waste, we make 7 megawatts of power and 36,000 litres of potable water. We create employment. We create opportunity. We create betterness for local people where we train them, we'll leave that on Naanovo, where we train them to run our plants. Now, with our plants, we do not sell plants, we sell power. And by Naanovo selling power, we are making a better environment, we're keeping the environment clean, and we're protecting and saving our world for our children, our grandchildren, and so on. Now, our technology is 99% clean, and we qualify for carbon credits. Now, that's a big statement to make because the UN keep changing their mind, but it certainly does happen, and we're doing a big project in the Gambia where we are gaining a lot of carbon credits. Felicia mentioned other technologies. The reason Naanovo has invested in the Caribbean, and we're investing $50 million within St. Kitts to do a 7 megawatt plant, we're talking to Jamaica and we're talking to St. Lucia, is because it is a developing market, it's a developing world, and it's an ideal situation for development of renewable energy. But unfortunately, you've got a wonderful country in a wonderful area, but what you haven't got the land or the resources. So if we want to put solar out, we need big solar fields. If we want to put wind, we need big wind fields. But what you do have, you have waste. So we're able to take the waste, put it through our plants, burn it, and make power to go forward to develop our world. Our combustion is low, so I just don't notice I should say that. Our combustion is low, so we qualify for carbon credits. We create employment. We can run, our plants will run on 35 people on 3 shifts. What we're doing in the Gambia, we've got a 14 megawatt plant. We are employing 300 people. We turn the waste to ash. We reduce it by 95%. The latter is turned into building blocks, which again is sold in the marketplace, and we also create 36,000 litres of potable water, which there is a world shortage of water, which enables us to export it to help the balance of payments. With regard to the St. Kitts project, we are in a situation where we're just waiting for the Prime Minister to finally thumbprint the project, and then we will be starting the project later this year. So what I'm saying is that Naanovo is here. We want to give back. We want to improve our environment for our children and for your grandchildren. Yeah. I just want to leave you with a couple of thoughts, if I may. Firstly, it's our passion to give back. I can tell you just a small story I can take you to a place in the Gambia where there's a lady, immaculately dressed, selling melons from a table. At night, she sleeps under that table. And they're the people we want to be giving back to give these people and the young people an opportunity. And I just leave you with my final thought, which I'm passionate about, is it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Thank you for your time.